Welcome to this exciting match between Hydra and CVA. I'd like to tell you more about what's going on, so I'm not going to. I'm going to pass you over to somebody that knows what they're talking about. It's CCP Claw.
Hi everyone, and this is CCP Stavros, in case anyone wasn't aware of that. He failed to introduce himself there. So, as you mentioned, we're bringing you this game between Hydra on the left and CVA on the right, who've been very impressive this year compared to previous performances. Do you want to go through the teams? Stavros, lock?
Yep, for CVA, we have a Bailgorn, an Abaddon, another Abaddon, an Eros, a Cyclone, another Cyclone, 2 Cormorants, a Thrasher, and a Tyrannus.
And for Hydra, we've got a setup similar to the one they fielded earlier today, which was 3 Myrmidons and an Eros, 3 Rooks, an Ishkor, and 2 Terranai. The idea of this setup, as we saw before, very EWAR heavy, a lot of dampeners. A lot of jammers as well, and then receive lots of drone DPS coming out from them. It's very hard to counter by opposing EWAR.
One of the Myrmidons there for Hydra is already on 50% structure. Do we know why that is?
I'm assuming it's because it's the guy that I healed to 50% earlier in the tournament who's forgotten to repair his structure before this game.
Well, not too bright there as we start this match.
Okay, so we see straight away damps from both sides. The destroyers on the CVA side being used as EWAR platforms by a lot of teams in this tournament. Tracking disruptors or damps being very popular. Both teams came in from upper angles, about 50k from the beacon, so they're only like 40k apart from each other. Drones all over the place, as Varone likes to say, an absolute, insert adjective here, something of drones.
Gaggle of drones.
An absolute gaggle of drones, indeed.
That's a great one.
And this ball going now, zipping across the field, looking to get some things locked down.
Mega Pulse armed Abaddons?
I would assume that's Mega Pulse on the Abaddon. My gun knowledge, by visuals, not so good these days as it was in the past.
Many more guns in game than last time I played.
Certainly. So CVA already, those destroyers obviously very soft targets, being quite large, not as fast as frigates, and carrying so much EWAR, being fantastic first targets for any team. So all the medium drones there, taking them out straight away, which will give Hydra a very, very, very large EWAR superiority.
Damage being taken sporadically across quite a few ships on the Hydra team. Looks like CVA probing for a weakness there potentially. One of the Rooks now into armor damage there for Hydra.
Yeah, it's a very tough primary call for the CVA team, because obviously the Rooks are kind of soft, very EWAR heavy, not as much EWAR as the Myrmidons of course, but the Myrmidons still packing disruptors, they work together symbiotically. I've been dying to use that word in a commentary for a long time. Symbiotically and,
proactively.
Proactively together, yeah. So, I mean, the primary call for CVA, very, very difficult there. They've tried a couple of different targets to see if either was particularly soft. They weren't.
That's a Cyclone there going down for CVA as well.
Another Cyclone down.
Not looking like a particularly great showing here for CVA. We were hoping we'd get more time to commentate on this match so that we could pollute the airwaves with drivel, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it.
We do enjoy some drivel. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get much time for it, as with these EWAR setups, as soon as you can establish EWAR dominance over the other team, which often only takes maybe 2 or 3 kills.
There for the Hydra team, looking like it's in a lot of trouble into structure there. Could that be, could this pull the match back for CVA? Interesting
swing. I mean, the Aneros, yet again, just another good choice of primary, but no particularly better than a Rook or a Myrmidon. So
it's like we're trading Aneros is here. The CVA Aneros is about to go down.
Yeah, the weapon's certainly out the way now, but still they've got that massive EWAR superiority. In taking that down, they've lost all of their own EWAR CVA at the time, and they're now facing 9 ships versus 4, one of which is about to die with just a massive differential in EWAR on either side now.
I think it's definitely looking like the match is going Hydra's way this time. Hydra, of course, kings of the metagame.
They are absolutely fantastic. Also kings of jumping around Joe space and being banned from the tournament, I heard.
Definitely a desirable skill in any tournament captain.
Absolutely. Very, very good. So the CVA team, again, they probed defences on different ships. They did find one that was weak, was the Aneros. Unfortunately, the time it took them to do that put them at such a deficit that, battleships, 3 big targets, easy to lock down for the EWAR on the field now.
Definitely. One of the Myrmidons there for Hydra, looking like it's in some stuck.
Is indeed.
I'm sure his 50% structure will see him well.
Yeah, that's going to do him a lot of favours there. These Abaddons in this ball going, I'm assuming, fit in a reasonable amount of ECCM, being the fact that they're still actually killing things, which is kind of useful.
Definitely.
which is definitely something that's worth doing in this tournament, particularly these later rounds where we've seen, you know, Pandemic Legion fielding 6 EWAR ships and lots of these Rook Bomber or Rook other style of DPS setups. Do
you think here that the loss of these Myrmidons will obviously it will significantly decrease the amount of DPS that Hydra can put down?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's one Myrmidon going down now. Whether it dies before this ball goes is a different matter, but if they can manage to get one off the field, Abaddons obviously take a long time to die. Yep. Rooks obviously take a long time to do anything that doesn't involve jamming people.
Bailgon there looking like it's definitely into structure now.
I think Hydra's certainly still going to have the upper hand there. It's going to be very tough for the battleships to deal with what's left on the field, but they're certainly doing a good job.
Looking like a great game here, going right down to the wire.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than it looked a couple of minutes ago. As you know, with them Abaddons still actually managing to do something. Let's cheat and see what they're doing. Yes, they are in fact well ECCM'd, as most people will have guessed by now.
Shocking result there.
Yeah. So nice setup for CVA. You know, they've come out with the right items, that the right, you know, fittings that they need to do the job. Maybe a little bit overwhelmed by the sheer amount of EWAR on the Hydra team.
Definitely.
And this Hydra team, an interesting choice of setup. It's not something, you know, people talk a lot about Pandemic Legion's inventive setups. No one's really talked about this one.
Maybe they stole them from Pandemic Legion.
Maybe they did. It's entirely possible.
Server intrigue.
Yes, maybe they'd stole it from them while I had them bubbled in a station, which I heard is illegal on the test server.
Yeah, we should probably forum post about that or something.
Maybe you should. I heard you're good at forum post.
I am.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, this is a really clever Hydra setup. You know, all the DPS comes from drones, which can't in any way be. I mean, they can have their damage mitigated, so it's forced to be spread around by EWAR and so on. But it's very tough to actually stop it. And then with their own EWAR superiority, it's
looking like a race here between the CVA Abaddon of Denetheus and the Hydra Myrmidon of Barak Ironfist. Great name there.
He sounds like a pretty hardcore guy.
Yes,
right?
he does sound like he doesn't afraid of anything at all.
I'm pretty sure Denetheus is going to go down, maybe at the same time as Barak, but that last Abaddon, even the frigates on the field now, could probably take him on their own.
That would be interesting.
We're on camera. It's been a long time since we've been on camera.
Yep.
Do you think we deserve to be on camera?
I think, you know, we work hard for our camera.
Yes. Have you seen Stevie anywhere at all?
Nope.
Dave Russ?
Nope.
I noticed your hair's gotten a little bit blonder and longer in the back.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm worth it, you know.
Apparently it's okay if you stand up.
I am, yeah. I'm just peeking at the match from behind.
Just peeking. Barak Ironfist holding on.
I think this, despite the fact he's got 3 rooks trying to jam him and he's damped by about 8 damps probably, this guy, Captain Angel Nova, is still managing to put a little bit of, you know, a few volleys into Barak Ironfist.
In this kind of situation, you might as well just start slinging abusive language in local because it'll do more damage than your guns, really.
Pretty much. What do you think of it? What word would you use to describe that mass of drones around that Abaddon?
I quite like my earlier attempt at gaggle.
Gaggle. I don't know. I mean, Verone's pretty much used every adjective in existence to describe something of drones.
Bush of drones.
A massive.
A bushel. A bushel. I don't know.
A bushel.
A bushel of drones.
That's some good old English language there. I like
Buckets of drones.
Buckets of drones.
All the words that begin with BU. I have no
I thought
idea.
you just swore on air then.
Nope, that's not me.
Nope. And the Abaddon goes down. Hydra take the game. Not quite as clean cut as we might have thought it was, but good win for them.
Definitely.
And they've had a pretty interesting journey through the tournament. For people who are just tuning in, Claw, what's been their story since the beginning?
So the Hydra team is kind of another little all-star team, kind of like Dystopia Alliance, as far as I understand it. You know, it's a few people from everywhere. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dream team. They've got lots of good players, lots of players who I've played with before in various games as well. I know they're all good. They're kind of cocky, which is not a bad thing at all, but you know, they really shouldn't go running around job space when they shouldn't. But yeah, they're a good team. They're certainly good. They know what to do, and obviously, as they've proved repeatedly, so I think we're going to see them going all the way, as it
contenders.
were. Yeah, definitely.
Well, for those of you who don't know who this is CCP Claw, and you should probably tell the people at home what you do at CCP.
Generally, I spend most of my days working with computers and technical things in various kind of ways, and dreaming of the next time I get to blow up Freckies in the tournament.
You're in fact the tournament organizer, are you not?
I am, that's right.
So you've organised how many tournaments now for CCP?
This is my 3rd tournament, and I was an expert in Alliance Tournament 5, and this is my 3rd tournament organising.
So organising a tournament, how does it start? Do you start with rules? Do you start looking at how you want the matches to go and then work out rules from that, or how does it work?
So we kind of start looking at the last tournament and what we liked and what we didn't like, and you know what we want to keep what we want to change, whether that's forcibly, to keep things a little bit different, or to if maybe something didn't work out so well. And we just kind of take it from there. We don't do anything in any particular order. It's kind of, it's a big puzzle that we fit together in little bits at a time, and change things as we go along, and then see what we can do to make it cool.
One of the main questions people ask is, are you making tournament matches to simulate PvP and EVE, or are you making matches to be exciting and fun?
Yeah, we definitely don't want to simulate PvP and EVE because it's just completely impossible. EVE is the sandbox. We don't have any lone wolves in the PvP tournament. We like to make it a tournament. We like to make it an esports event as much as possible. That's the route we've been going down for a long time, and we want to keep going down that route and making it as making it be taken seriously, unless you're Hydra.
Now, as far as this tournament's concerned, you've been kind of the John Anderson. Only people who watch Gladiators will get that reference. The John Anderson of the tournament. You are sort of the rule master of how things have been going. Now, have people been behaving or not?
Yeah, people have generally behaved within the rules. I mean, people make some mistakes. People move slightly before games. A lot less than last year. But there's been a few people messing about a little bit, and it's cool to have fun and things, but when it starts becoming silly, or, the worst thing anyone can do is mess with my schedule. If something is going to delay a match by a minute, it gets me really angry and things blow up.
Well, we had an incident with a team losing power in the internet cafe.
Yeah. So this was the Circle of Two team, who famously now fielded the Freckies and unfortunately got knocked out earlier today. But they let us know like an hour before that the entire internet cafe had lost power, so their entire team couldn't play, which is something that we don't really want that to happen. We don't want to see an entire game and a really good team not able to take part, or any team not able to take part due to internet-related problems. Because we work with the internet on a daily basis. We know it's not the most stable thing in the world. It is indeed, and also the inhabitants aren't fickle as well.
Fickle,
as you know. Yeah, so we tried to accommodate them, and as it turns out, there was only a kind of delay of 10 minutes or something, and it worked out okay.
And who are we looking forward to today?
Everyone. I mean, I don't know. We haven't actually published a tree bracket this year, but the first half of the games this afternoon are basically the left half of the tree, which is the side that contains Voltron, Hydra, and so on.
Such a good bracket.
Which is an amazing bracket. But the right side of the tree, which contains Pandemic Legion and lots of other teams that have been phenomenally good, but we don't know that wouldn't be tournament favourites, so to speak. But we don't know much about them, but we know they've been really good, and that bracket is completely open. I mean, at this point, it looks like it's going to be someone versus Pandemic Legion, probably. But it could not be. Pandemic Legion could get knocked out before then. There's all to play for, and all the time in the world to play it in.
That's true. And hello CCP Caps Lock or Stavros, or what are we using right now?
Caps Ross.
Caps Ross.
Or
Hello
something.
CCP Caps Ross. Would you like to tell the people who you are and what you do for CCP?
I'm here yet again. I do the website of the tournament, which basically means I'm responsible for updating the results pages, schedules on some kind of timescale that is very secret and only I know. So, or I won't do it anymore. And I also do like the player page, which has been revamped this year, and a number of other things. So we've been trying to generally improve the viewing experience in that way for you lovely people this year.
Yep, and you are, of course, another tourney expert veteran, which is why we kind of have a tourney classic commentary team happening right now, because you have been a...
classic.
Also known as best tournament commentary team.
Bestest.
Well, that's awesome, and you are the best. Well, not the best commentary team ever, but the best in my heart.
And everyone else is hard to post on the forums if we're the best.
If you think they're the best, post on the
Thread
forums.
now.
Just so they sleep well at night.
Can I do one thing before we go?
It depends.
I got really shouted at last year for not giving a shout out to a couple of people. So I'd like to say a quick shout out to Mark, Richie, Liam, and I forgot everyone else, so they go 3 years.
And hi to my lovely girlfriend Sasha,
Hi,
who does the makeup as well.
She
You
does.
have to be nice to her. She makes you look like
beautiful.
a girl.
Over to Soundwave.